Hello friends, welcome back. It's Big Dano Plays Kingdom Death, the People of the Dream Keeper. This is a wonderful new campaign from the Gambler's Chest expansion that I'm experiencing for the first time. I'm making many mistakes, but I'm having a wonderful time. Now, one of those mistakes that I've made is related to these books right here. So these are the philosophy books. And when a survivor gains a philosophy, which they do regularly, maybe I'll put it here, you gain the benefits of this, the neuroses and the tenet knowledge. Now, you also are supposed to flip to the first rank and do this as well. So what I'm going to do for Severus, he has the survivalism, rank 1. He was supposed to get this 2 turns ago, or when he gained it. But I roll 6, which is Desperate Strike. And we're just going to assume that I'm not a complete idiot. He does have survivalism, doesn't he? Yes. Desperate Strike. Okay. He very well may have had a Desperate Strike before, but we weren't to know because we were dumb. So every time a new knowledge is gained by the settlement, we add that to the knowledge thing. So here is our Desperate Strike. So we've gained this Desperate Strike and we add it to our knowledge deck. Oh, Verminism. And I'm excited to learn about some of these other ones. Verminism. Survivalism. It's so great. Okay, so that's the first mistake I made. Second mistake I made, it wasn't a mistake, it was just something I could craft that I chose not to craft, but I've now chosen to craft, which is an item from the outskirts. It's a scout item. It's called Grimjaw. It's a weapon, and it's actually a fucking epic weapon. And it says, during the aftermath, if you wounded the monster, gain an extra monster resource. That is so crazy. We needed to have a perfect bone and an iron. And in the last hunt, we picked up an iron from the ore vein, and we had the Crimson Crocodile's perfect lustrous tooth. So we've made that. This year, we are going to depart, and we are going to depart to face a level 1 Smogsingers, whom I have never fought. So this should be exciting. So just to confirm, we have Cedric, and he is currently using, we'll go over to this page. He's currently using Crimson Folds, and he's going to use Fist and Tooth for the most part. I'm actually just going to do this. In a second. Okay. There is actually a few things I need to do with this. So I'm just going to review that now. So when you depart, because of the Crimson Folds, we gain a bleeding token. When we depart, we gain a bleeding token and add 1 to the arms hit location. Okay, we're all good. We have Cedric. Here's the Croc armor. New and exciting. We have Ginny, and she is wearing bloody cloth and is clothed and satiated. She's wielding a blood glass dagger. We have Molly. She is holding nothing but a bone blade and 2 founding stones. We'll actually give her another founding stone. Why not? You know, and now that I think about it, if you have a total TPK, you probably don't want to have all the founding stones anyway. And then we have Severus with a full rawhide set. It's excellent. All right. So, we will depart. I'll just nip over here. So, Smog Singers going to need to build their deck soon. How exciting. We shall depart for the showdown. Showdown. No. No. There we go. The hand, no. The king, no. Atnus, no. So many dudes to fight against. There we go. Smog Singers. Okay. Okay. Start here. Shuffle these. These are the Smog Singers ones. Our first survivor to do an event will be Cedric. And he will roll brown first, 82. Oh, before I do that, because I always do this, I'm going to shuffle these. I'm not going to look at them. Cut, and we get an Ark Survivors Hunt event. I've done that several times. And we'll roll. So it'll be 82 if we have to do a thing. 6. Practical Philosophy. There is a homicidalist amongst the group. No. If there is a gourmandist amongst the group. No. Nominate 2 survivors with different philosophies. They may exchange knowledge. If they do, the discussion draws in the hunting party. All survivors gain +1 Lumi. So there need to be 2 survivors. So the only 2 it could be here is Cedric. No. Don't care. Smog Singers Hunt event. Trail of Rhines. The event revealer decides to follow the trail or ignore the trail. Okay, we'll follow the trail. And it's with Ginny. Seven. Oh. You see a weeping tree. Its branches terminating in a tear-shaped fruit. You crack them open and share the meal. Tasty. All survivors gain +2 survival. Great. done. The next one will be with Molly, and it is Sudden Silence. Does any survivor have 3 understanding? Molly does. End this event. Oh, we make it. Easy. Okay. I love fighting a new guy. So, showdown setup. Smog Incense. So we have one random terrain card set up normally, and because of our ability from Cedric, which is called he gains an insanity. So Physiognomy, we draw 2 additional terrain cards and pick one to place according to its rules. We get Acanthus Plants, Toppled Pillar, Nightmare Tree. Interesting. And we have the Smog Incense. This one. Little fatties singing away. Toppled Pillar, Nightmare Tree, and Acanthus Plants. I should actually use the Nightmare Tree piece of terrain that I have. Okay, Nightmare Tree. Set up at least 5 spaces away from all board edges. So the Nightmare Tree can go there. Acanthus Plants. Smog Incense. And a Toppled Pillar. Okay, our guys. I have no idea what to expect in this fight. I literally have no idea. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, that's how we're going to set up for the moment. So we have performing artists, song cards, bloody hands, and vibration damage. So, have a look at these. We have bloody hands. So everyone's got bloody hands. When you wound the monster, gain a guilt token. You are only guilty when you have 3 guilt tokens. Alright. Eight basic. What are these O cards? L, no. B, 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 A, 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 A. Singing whale. So that's only against level 3s. Very good. Legendaries. Overtone singing. Performing artists. So performing artists, song cards, bloody hands, and vibration damage, which is a S as well. I was right. I found it. Vibration damage. After you suffer this damage, archive all of your fragile gear. There goes my skull helm. Interesting. Okay, so that's in play. Performing artist is in play. Performing artist, the song cards, which are these ones. Spend. This is crazy. Bloody hands, we're good. Okay, so this is our hit location deck. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's not included. 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of these 2. Okay, so I have no idea what these cards are. These are O. Ah, I see. O cards come into play at level 2. Good, so we won't worry about that then. None of these are needed. Okay, so I think we're good to go. When you wound the monster, you feel terrible and gain a guilt token. You are only guilty when you have 3 tokens. Fine. That's it. Let's go. So we will... Now we are definitely trying to trigger this Grimjaw Scout attack. Harmony, the guiltiest threat. So we get to choose. Move and synchronic attack target. All right. How do we determine who gets attacked? This will be under the new rules section. Okay. Synchronic attack. Range attacks, vibration damage, repeat, compulsive, and dominal. All right, multi-monster showdown. Okay. Smog Shingers they share one monster turn. Survivors must select one Smog Singer to attack. If that monster moves out of range, the attack ends. So does each guy do that? Multi-monster showdown. Smog Singers share AI and hit location decks and perform AI cards together. Okay. The Smog Singers, at the start of the showdown, all survivors gain a face-down song status card. Cool. So I'm not sure if the monsters are supposed to act if they're each supposed to act. What it says there, survivors must select one Smog Singer to attack. No. Perform AI cards together. All right, well, first thing that happens is based on the rules in this book over here, which tells us that survivors with 3+ guilt tokens a card. Some AI cards target the guiltiest survivor. Survivors must be guilty and have the most guilt tokens to be guiltiest. Otherwise, a monster cannot find a target this way. So they do Song of Smog. Song of Smog is the monster moves 3 spaces away from as many survivors as possible and assumes a peaceful pose. The monster is knocked down. If you wound a knockdown Smog Singer this round, gain an additional guilt token. I really have no idea if they're each supposed to activate. So I'm going to go and watch a video right now and see if I can find the answer to that question. From what I can tell, each monster activates one after the other. However, we're doing Song of Smog. Song of Smog says the monster moves 3 spaces away from as many survivors as possible and assumes a peaceful pose. It is knocked down. Gain an additional guild token. Seems pretty fun. This video. What was it? Knockdown, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Guilt tokens, baby. All right, I want to get this scout. I want to get this scout wound off so I can get cracking on that. So George is going to go into the rear, but it doesn't matter because the monster's knocked down. We're going to suffer an additional guilt token. This Grimjaw is 3 dice, hitting on a 3+. 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Now, does it say each time you wound the monster? Performing artists. Oh, I see. Good, that tells us I'm performing artists. Roger. Whenever you wound the monster. Whenever you wound the monster, okay. So our guy's about to be guilty. Great. So when... We'll do this one, the downy belly. So what toughness is this guy? He's toughness 7. So we're 2+ to wound. That's a wound. So we're going to gain a guilt token on our scout. Look out. Scout's in trouble. 1 guilt token. We'll then do this one because we're not currently guilty. That's a wound. And this one, crit. Whoop. Come on, crit. 6, it's a wound, but the monster shamefully hides the ugly hatred. Reveal the top 5, discard any that are not the trap. And then shuffle this pile. Doesn't seem very enjoyable at all. 3 wounds though. The scout, George, is then going to spend a survival to dash. Get the hell out of there, George. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. George is the guilty one. He's done 4 wounds, or he's got 4 guilt tokens, I should say, because he's wounded 3 times and because of the smog singers being knocked down. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She is currently wielding a blood glass dagger, so she'll roll 3 dice. She hits 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Trap, Song of Murder. All survivors are doomed. The attacked smog singer. Oh, this is awesome. The attacker and all survivors in the song zone suffer an emotional breakdown. So it's within 3 spaces. It's literally just her. Full move, all smog singers. If the attacker uses a ranged weapon, no. The attack smog singer means this thing. Okay. So we do an emotional breakdown. We're going to shuffle this deck back together. Now, from what I can tell, the other 2 are still knocked down. Because they haven't moved. Well, when you draw the trap, do they automatically stand up? It's been a little while since I've played Kingdom Death, actually. Got to tell you. Trap. Causes the monster to stand. Cool. So they're all standing up. Emotional breakdown. What is that? It's awesome. Emotional breakdown. Hear the devil's melody. Choose a result based on your number of guilt tokens. 0. She has not done a wound. Good work. Ginny, gain an understanding. I may have just selected the wrong one. Let's do an insight roll. Showdown phase epiphany is analyze. Cool. And she will roll a 3, which means ignore the next severe injury this showdown, and she gains a pattern card, which will be Mass Immune. Get in. Okay. So her insight's done. She's gained 1 understanding. Limit once per showdown. She's done. Oh. Cedric is in range. So he's going to move over to here. And he's going to swing twice with fist and tooth. I realise he should have one too. He gets a perfect hit. He doesn't have anything for perfect hit, does he? Stone Heart. No. Cool. So he will draw a hit location. It is an impervious and super dense location. See if we can get a crit. It's an 8, and an 8 is actually a crit because Cedric has 1 luck and is wielding fist and tooth. So your attack forces a long belch out of the monster. Gain 1 insanity and 1 gaseous belly. Well, we are supposed to have bleeding tokens. 1, 2, and we gain 1 on our arms. Cool. Gaseous belly. One gaseous belly. It's an organ. I love that. We're in desperate need of organs. Okay, I don't think anyone else is in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we do have dash. I forgot about that. So she will spend a survival to dash. And she will swing with the bone blade in the rear. 2 hits. So she's +3, so she's looking for 4s to wound. Critting on a 10. That's a 9, so it's a wound. It's not a crit. And this one, it's a wound, but it's not a crit. So we do the top 5, discard any that are not the trap. They're all not the trap. She gains 3 guilt tokens. Severus, he's going to spend a survival token. Which gains him a survival. He's going to do that after he dashes to get into range. He swing with the bone blade. He hits once. It's the trap. Okay. The attacker and all survivors in the smog zone. So unfortunately, well, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, Severus has 0 guilt tokens, so he's going to gain an understanding. Ginny also has 0 guilt tokens, so she's going to gain nothing. But Molly, the murderer, she has 3 guilt tokens. So she is going to suffer an emotional breakdown. 3. If you are singing and the settlement has any music innovations, you are distracted by the top notes. Well, we're not singing. Melody descends like a searing curtain. Full move away from the monster and suffer monster level brain damage. So she's going to full move away from the monster. 1, 2, 5. And she's going to suffer monster level brain damage, which is 1. She doesn't have any knowledges. No. So that is it. That's the end of our turn. We've done a fucking chunk of damage there. Let's find out what card he draws. A harmony. Okay, so each person activates. All right, so we'll activate each one in turn. Grand Jetée. So this guy, the furthest threat in range is her, because they're speed 6. Oh yeah, what does it do? The monster leaps in the air, gracefully extending its limbs. Place the monster in the closest unoccupied spaces on the opposite side of the target. So we'll go here. The target suffers monster level brain damage from beholding the joyful prance. This champion is also going to do the same thing. However, before the first one activates, we're going to spend a survival to dash. We're going to move to here. He's going to go to there. So that way now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's not in range of anyone, so he just goes to the closest survivor, which is Severus. Jumps over Severus, suffers in that. This, either one. We'll go Severus again. Jumps over Severus. That's it. These guys are weird as shit. All right, the scout's going to start singing. I don't know what that does. Let's find out. A Song of Speed. When this is turned face up, remove all your guilt tokens. Lovely. Your body moves. You must spend movement before attack and move as many spaces as possible without passing over the same space twice. Cool. Well, if we're lucky here, we can probably just get this shit done. What happens if we walk over the smog incense? Right. Bloodglass dagger. 1, 2. Hits once. Impervious and super dense. So this is the death of our bloodglass dagger. It doesn't crit, so our bloodglass dagger is no longer honed. Severus will just go to there. Oh, I just realised I can't attack in the rear with Dickhead. Boneblade. Hits once. Back of the head. All non-deaf survivors gain a guild token. Ooh, that's awesome. 5's a wound. Reflex. This guy moves 4 spaces away from the attacker. 1, 2, 3, 4. All survivors gain a guild token. And he gains 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm gonna run out of tokens for this real quick. You may pursue the monster. We will pursue the monster. Try and get another wound. You draw another hit location. Oh, come on, man. The trap. Emotional breakdown again. Well, everyone has fucking on top. Everyone has guild tokens now, so this is going to be potentially bad. Severus, 2. Suffers brain damage, monster level. And Molly also, or Ginny, monster level brain damage. She now gains Terrified because she has 0 insanity. And she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Molly's going to swing the bone blade. 1 hits. Ooh, Loving Eye. If you have 7+ guild tokens, we do not. It's a 6. It's a wound. Gain a guild token. She's got 5. Fist and Tooth. Double 5 does nothing. Monster AI card. True Kiss. Each one targets the closest threat. True Kiss. All right, this Smog Singer is going to target Molly. So Molly's going to flip her song. Smog Singer full moves. If adjacent, roll a dice. 1 on a 3. It is. The target belches, gouts of smog, and then starts to sing. Song of Solidarity. Remove all guild tokens. Thank you. I appreciate you. All monsters gain +1 speed. Awful. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. So she is also going to start singing. Song of Seething. Remove all your guild tokens. Thank you. After the trap is resolved. Oh my god. You fight the guy who triggers the trap. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And if they were already singing, they gain a guilt token as well. I'm going to spend a survival on Ginny to dash. So this guy doesn't get adjacent. That's the end. It's our turn. We will make an attack on the Smog Singer with Cedric using Fist and Tooth. He hits twice. Come on, Cedric. Come on, buddy. Oh my god. Well, Cedric and Molly are about to... Well, Cedric's fine. He's got 1 guilt token. So he suffers 1 brain damage. And full moves away. Molly, she's got 0. I don't know. I don't believe she's gained understanding. So she's going to gain an understanding. Come on, trap guy. Molly will attack. Bone Blade. Hits once. We do not have a heavy weapon. We wound. She will move away. Severus, he'll move in. He'll attack with a Bone Blade. He hits twice. We'll do this one first. That's a 4, that's a wound. So that's fine. And this one is a reflex, so we're critting on... I can't remember, does Severus have a luck? No. Critting on a 6, no, critting, yes. If the attacker is insane, they cannot help but laugh. No, we're not insane. If still standing, survive with the least guilt tokens gains 1. We'll give 1 to him. He gets 2. And then we're going to pursue this little idiot. He's going to move 4 spaces away. We're going to pursue him, draw another hit location. Try and pound him again. It's a wound. Oh. I don't know what's happening in this. I haven't suffered a single point of damage. Was the attack with the Bloodglass Dagger. Hits once. Um, 5 is not enough because the Bloodglass Dagger has no strength because we hit a super dense. So that's it. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. The Scout's getting the hell out of dodge. That's the end of our turn. This is an AI card. It's the closest threat. Guilt token, and guilt token. No, red. She flips her song. When you gain a guilt token, suffer brain damage. Oh no, did Molly just... Yeah, Jenny just suffered that. And finally Severus gains a guilt token. All right. I don't know what's happening with these guys. We'll dash with Cedric. Over here. Before we do that, Molly's going to pick up the tree, see what she gets from the tree. She gets a 6, which is a broken lantern, I think. Perfect, perfect. That's actually exactly what I wanted. And then she's going to move away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spending a survival to dash. And now he's going to swing. 2 and an 8. Hits twice. Cedric Diggory. We'll do this one. Go Cedric. He crits. He gains a guilt token. If you have 3 guilt tokens, full move towards the monster. If adjacent, you rip off its nose, then archive this hit location and inflict an additional wound for every 3 guilt tokens you have. We've just done 2 wounds. So we've killed him. But I'll see if I get that crit. I do. I'm going to take that crit as well. That's it. 2 more Smogsinger resources. 1, 2. Weird. No idea what was happening in that fight, friends. I don't know how those guys ever beat anyone. They didn't do a single point of damage. Don't know. We gain 4 basic and 4 Smogsinger resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one, 2, another love juice. 3, 4. And an insanity on someone. That someone will be Ginny. We will gain a Hunt XP. We will return from Showdown and advance the year. What's on the timeline this year? We have a butcher fight. Great. It's one of these death event times. We're gonna, oh no, I've done a bad thing. I shuffled all of them. No, don't do that. Got scout discoveries in there. No. No. Stand by. Okay, I just grabbed out my pattern cards just to see if there was any that I could make. Elder's Aegis is actually something I probably could have made because I've got paint, founding stone, round leather shield, protect the young. I chose survival of the fittest, but I'm going to go look at the Elder's Aegis and see if it's something I would have made maybe. It's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. Quite interesting. So we are going to hollow stone gather, which is going to get us a strange resource of a hollow stone. Now, let's go and look at what we can make. Because there's something that I wanted from the outskirts. The first thing we're going to make is a stone face cloak. Boom. The next thing we're going to make is a scout lantern. Boom. And then let's have a look at these Colosseum items. I need to make bandages. These just look crazy. I'm trying to understand. There's so much new shit in this game. So much stuff to learn. Alright, we're fighting the Butcher this year, so we know that. Let's have a look at this. That requires a gaseous belly, that requires a delicate hand. Let's make a spinning sword. Oh, we'll make a counterweighted axe, can we? Pretty good. Skull cap hammer. Ham fluter. What's a ham fluter do? Huh. Weapon, melee club, instrument, noisy. Ballad of Perfection. Huh. I need to read about ballads. This is a while. Spear of Life. I'm gonna make a Spear of Life, I think. It requires those two. Done. I'm doing it. Do we have enough? We're not going to have enough to innovate next turn against the Butcher. That may be okay. So what else can we make? Lucky Charm. Can't get a Lucky Charm going on easily. Get bandages, actually. No, we'll keep the love juice. Or do we just make it? Because bandages, boom. What does a monster tooth necklace require? Why can't I make it? I want one. Heat required. We have no heat. Okay, there's some really cool items in there. I gotta chill out. I gotta calm my farm. Let's go make these outskirts items that I looked up. So this one's awesome. I just made this. Draw 2 cards and pick one to keep when drawing random settlement events this lantern year. Incredible. And then this is a stone face cloak. We can hide ourselves. So we're going to take both of those all the time. Amazing. I am really uncertain what to think about that fight. It was interesting, but they never felt like they did any damage to me. Maybe they will. Bandages is good. I'm going to take the bandages here. Spear of Life. Really like that. Very terrified. Okay. Still got 4 endeavours. What does it cost to make the leather crafter? Let's go have a look. 3 hide, 1 organ for the leather worker. Cannot afford it. We got a lot of bone. I really should spend that bone on something. Spinning sword. Sure. There was an item that I wanted to get from the Crimson Crockery. Which is the Crimson Pearls. On arrival, gain 3 bleeding tokens. Your fist and tooth attacks gain +1 strength for each of your bleeding tokens. That seems pretty good. With a caveat, of course. All right. I don't really want to give away my love juice, and I don't really want to give away my perfect hide, so we're just going to have to hope that we can defeat the butcher in a battle. I don't want to do pictographs. We might build some stone noses, I guess. Stone noses it is. Three of them. And that'll do. Next time, friends, you'll see me facing off against the butcher, and I feel pretty confident at this point, but let's see. Talk soon. Big Dano out.